What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, comment below. Let us know what you think about the contents of these videos. Let us know what you think about the topics that we discuss. And of course, let's get into it now. So, right, it's just a bit of breaking news for you. So Canelo Alvarez, he's gonna get into a two-fight deal. According to a tweet from Michael Benson, he's got sort of all knowledge, the inside man in all this. And so he's going to have a two-fight deal apparently with DAZN. And, it was in a bit of controversy with DAZN earlier in the year, DAZN and De La Hoya legal case and everything. And I think they came to some sort of arrangement where Canelo is sort of coming to the zone now as an independent. He's coming to the zone now without De La Hoya coming as his own man. So there's going to be a two-fight deal. It's going to apparently begin in I think it's going to be next February, and it's going to be in Canelo's hometown over in Mexico. I think it's Guadalajara. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it said. But it's in his hometown in Mexico, and it's going to be, the first fight is going to be against Avni Yildrim, who he's a guy who is not for me, it's not really a sort of world-class guy. He's a decent fighter. He's kind of a average fighter. He's lost to one of the Dirrell brothers, I think Anthony Dirrell. He's lost to Chris Eubank Jr. He's a guy that he's fought good fighters, but again, he's one of them that he always sort of comes up short. He's short of world class, definitely, but he's a guy that he's a tough guy. He comes forward, he comes to fight, he comes to have a brawl. So it's one of them that, as I think Ring IQ's boxing channel was saying, that look, this fight would never sell in America. No one really knows about this Yildrim guy over here, and he hasn't really achieved much still. So, I think it's one of them that will work over there in Mexico, because this is Canelo's home. This is where he's from. He's Mexican. He fights normally on the holidays, on the Cinco de Mayo, the Mexican Independence Day. He fights on those particular dates. So it's gonna be a suitable homecoming for him. And I think he's one of those guys that, okay, this opponent Yildrim is not a great opponent. He's not really one of the top guys. He's got into a mandatory position somehow. I don't get how he's got into mandatory position. You got several guys in the top 10 that are better than this guy, and he's somehow mandatory. I don't know how they do that, but he's somehow in a mandatory position. And you can kind of forgive Canelo this sort of thing, because at the end of the day, Canelo's been fighting world champions. He's just come off a fight with Callum Smith, undefeated super middleweight unified champion. Canelo was just miles ahead of him in class, but at the end of the day, he's a world champion, undefeated. Canelo's been fighting good guys, so it's one of them where you can't complain about this choice of opponent. Especially in a homecoming fight. It's a homecoming fight in Mexico. It's set up for, obviously, Canelo to win, and the skill and how good Canelo is makes it so that almost every fight he's going to have now at and around middle and super middleweight is going to he's going to beat probably 99%, if not all, the guys out there, unless there's some young guy on the rise that I don't know. But so he's gonna have that fight as a homecoming fight against Yildirim. I'm sure it probably ends in a stoppage for Canelo when that fight happens. I'm sure Canelo breaks him up and beats him up inside the first half of the fight. But I think it will be a good, entertaining homecoming for Canelo. Won't be anything competitive, but it will be a good homecoming where he can show his home fans a nice knockout, nice homecoming back in Mexico, back in the stadium. And it will be a good one for him, because I can't recall a time when he did fight in his hometown over there in Mexico. So his career's mostly been in America, you know what I mean? So you'd probably have to go back to his teen years and his early career if you want to talk about last time when he fought over in Mexico. And then the good news about this is that yes, you got that Yildrim fight as the opener, but then the next fight is going to be Billy Joe Saunders, and he's looking to pick up the WBO belt from Billy Joe Saunders, and that fight is meant to be taking place in the, I believe it's either the spring or the summer of 2021. Excuse me. So that's a very good part of the deal there, and that's good for Canelo as well, because that really shows his intent as a fighter, that he jumps from, he fights a good opponent in Callum Smith, fights another guy in Yildrim, sort of not such a big deal, and then he goes on to fight yet another world champion, another undefeated world champion in Billy Joe Saunders at super middleweight. So all things being well, you get that 2-fight deal, and if you've got DAZN, I'm a subscriber now, £2 a month, $1.99 a month over here in England. So it's a good deal for Canelo. Good bit of breaking news there, that it's the super middleweight division seems to be coming together there, and we're gonna hopefully have Canelo, Saunders next year. So all things being well, that will take place, and by the summer we'll get that unification fight that's been talked about for quite some time now, for several months now. Saunders wasn't happy with the deal. I think Canelo tried to fight Plant as well and other guys, and Saunders has said, when I'm ready, I'll get to you, blah blah blah. Now it looks like he's going to get that opportunity next year. I think he gives Canelo a good run for his money, but ultimately comes up short. I just think there's that golfing class where Canelo's just that bit better, but I do think Saunders gives him a run. So anyway, that's just a bit of breaking news for you. 2-fight deal for Canelo, starting with Yildrim in Feb, and then ending with Saunders, and maybe extending beyond that sometime in the summer. So it's a bit of news for you there. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.